right now there's just a lot of people as business owners or employees, a lot of people are working remote, and it's just a whole different world for us. So how can we use our devices more efficiently? And then the second part of the question is, what are some of the tools that we can use to communicate?
Well, first thing in efficient is actually, and I can speak it, don't always do it myself, is really to be aware of scheduling and notice what things are. So this is going to combine with things. So there are different calendars that people can use. And I think one of the things that hold people up, they're so used to getting notifications when email is there. And I remember AOL back and sound is to turn off notifications, know how you can turn off notifications. Just get those that you need. You can be setting reminders and different things like that. And I think I'm collapsing the question. But what was the first part of that?
Just asking, how can we use devices more efficiently?
Okay, well, the best way to use them more efficiently is to know them and what they can do, particularly in with our smartphones now. I mean, it amazed me, and she's going to go on. It amazed me that I was talking to somebody, a couple of different people that have been top CEOs of companies, have iPhones, and didn't even know the things they could do with, hey Siri, write me a note to call Rob after this.
Okay, I created a note. Call Rob after this.
Okay, I can then create a reminder. So that sits in my notes. I can create reminders and then schedule in the reminders app. So it's knowing what's possible there. I mean, I've asked Siri to make phone calls. Actually, I mean, this is a good example in terms of efficiency. Many of us multitask, and I was making dinner and I had something that needed 9 tablespoons, or 9 tablespoons with 1 or 2 servings. So instead of going to Google like we used to do, typing it in, I just said, hey, you know who, 9 tablespoons equals how many cups? And it was there in an instant. So it could barely do anything. I've been in a car and I've heard a radio station or something I wanted to listen to, and the red light, I'll just tell her to get, to find the answer. And to make a note and remind me, and then go back and check them. I checked with a former iPhone user who's now Android, and the Android equivalent of hey you know who is hey Google or okay Google. So well, if you're new, any of you could try that now if you want. It's not going to interrupt us. So that's like knowing the phone, knowing the reminders, knowing the privacy settings, knowing the notifications, and becoming familiar with it. Obviously, if knowing it is becoming familiar with it. And this can be a great tool. They can put it in the calendar. And I had a laugh at myself. I shut down my computer and started again with a fresh computer. When you start a Zoom conference like this, it's a good thing to be kind of clean. And I couldn't get the link to this. I had totally forgotten. Once I set up in my calendar, I put the link there. All I had to do was go into my calendar. The link was right there and went into it. In the calendar, you can set notifications, and I have my calendar remind me 15 minutes before, and I'll get a pop-up of that. Another friend, and this is one way of your efficiency, uses, and I know some people here do, uses Google Calendar and color codes her meetings and things like that to become efficient. See that, and she has reminders set. Just look at what it is you're spending time on and rethink that and reschedule it. That's one thing. You pop in a notification, you check email constantly, and sort of set up some patterns for yourself also.
Okay, and I'm assuming that the same thing could be done on a tablet or an iPad as well.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sitting here. I'm surprised that my iPad didn't also look up that question. I just asked her write a note for me. But yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and I know it's been interesting. We've been utilizing Zoom a lot on corporate calls and doing different tours, and people kind of turning their camera around and taking us through tours on facilities. So it's been quite interesting.